Danny in Las Vegas here with Kentavias Slay.
Yes, sir.
2-0 fighting out of Texas champ. Got a big fight April 29th. You know, you're a very decorated amateur, highly accomplished, a lot of world champions. You know, but at that weight class, you know, it's tough to get that attention. What is it that you bring that nobody else could bring, especially at that weight?
The biggest thing is I'm American. You know, most of those guys like overseas, so it's rare that you get a champion that's, you know, over this side. And most of those guys, they just the way they fight is just pressure. You know, they don't got no boxing, no jab, no, you know what I'm saying? They not slick like I am. So when I bring the slickness, it's something different that they don't see, that you really don't see at them weight classes.
Now, given that most of those smaller guys at those weight classes are, you know, of different nationalities, typically a lot of Japanese, a lot of African fighters, a lot of Mexican fighters.
Yeah.
What do you think it will have to take for you to get noticed, right? Because historically, we're used to seeing, you know, certain type of fighters. Now here you come.
Yeah.
Right. What is it gonna take for you to get noticed? Because we don't see too many fights in those lower weight classes.
Really the belts. Once I go take those belts, I'll be making a name for myself.
Well, I mean, 2-0. Obviously, it's still gonna be a little bit before you get to those belts. But when would you like to fight for a regional title? One of those belts that'll help you get pushed in those rankings and maybe set you up for an opportunity down the line.
Probably like 4 or 5 more fights, little tune-up fights. I feel like I'm ready now, but I'm gonna just say like 4 or 5. You know, then I'm ready for those belts. Really, any title, the big titles, really. Yeah.
So you feel like you match up and you're ready for those champions now?
Yeah, right now.
But what do you say to those who say, well, you know, the lack of experience, you need more experience?
I mean, I've been in the game for so long, I don't think it's really more I can gain. You know, I mean, but the pros, it is different. You know, once I get, that's what I'm saying, a couple more fights, then I'll be ready. But I feel like I'm ready. Skill-wise, I'm ready right now.
Now, obviously, you display those skills in the amateurs. You know, just talk about those amateur accolades, because a lot of people watching this may not know you, so this is your time for them to get to know you. So talk about your amateur accolades. I
got an amateur record of 72-10, 9-time national champion. I won the Olympic trials 2020. I would have been in the Olympics, but you know they removed the light flyweight weight class.
They moved a couple. And so for that reason, you know, you turn pro, having success now, 2-0. You're here in Las Vegas, being able to get some of the, you know, some good work, some top work. What is it about being other top level guys that brings the best out of you?
You said, what is it about beating them?
No, I'm saying, like, when you're in there with another top fighter, what is, you know, obviously there's more work out here for you than in places like Texas. So I'm saying, what does that bring out of you when you are getting that top work?
I feel like the better the opponent, the better I'm gonna be. You know, if it's like a low class opponent, you ain't really gotta showcase everything you got to, you know, to beat them. So the better the opponent, the more you gotta think, the more thinking, the more you gotta do. Now it bring like different stuff out of me.
April 29th, going in for your 3rd professional fight in Mexico. How excited are you to step foot in that ring this year?
I'm really excited. I'm really excited. I'm ready to put on the show, get this 3rd dub, you know, keep moving.
What can we expect out of you that we haven't seen in the first 2 fights? Because you look great your first 2 fights, but what can we expect differently this one?
I'm a lot more focused. I'm a lot more focused, and I train harder. I train harder in both fights, but it's like the focus in this fight is like way more than what it was. I had too much going on, so it's like now I'm like locked in, focused.
So what does the next couple of days look like for you? Obviously, you have to get down to Mexico. You know, still got to make weight, still got to fight. But what's the next couple of days like for you?
Still training, you know, doing the same thing I've been doing. But you know, let's just no sparring. You know, just working, keeping up the cardio, conditioning, yeah, running.
So ideally, I mean, you say 4 or 5 more fights. I mean, for somebody coming up, you could get those this year.
Yeah.
So do you think that maybe a regional title comes towards the end of this year, or do you think maybe more so with the beginning of next year?
It's possible. It's possible. Either the end of this year or the beginning of next year. It's possible. Yeah.
Well, April 29th, people should be tuned in if they haven't known about Kentavias Slay. They do now. You know, let the people know where they can follow you and keep up, and not just with your fight next week, but with everything else going on.
They can follow me on Instagram at TaaeMoney, TAAE.money. And that's really it. I'm on Facebook under Taae Slay, TAESLAY. That's it.
And before I let you go, just really quick, want your picks on a couple upcoming fights. Shakur Stevenson versus Oscar Valdez.
Oh, I got Stevenson. I just seen him sparring. He just picked his dude apart. I think that's how it's gonna go with Valdez, same way.
Canelo Bivol.
That's a good fight, but I got Canelo.
Knockout or decision?
Yeah, I think he ended up catching him, slowing him down.
How does Stevenson win?
Ooh. I'm gonna say decision. Picking him up. Yeah.
And then lastly for me, Devin Haney, George Kambosos.
I got Devin Haney, but the part that's like, it's the part that is over there, you know, in Australia. It's
so
like,
that's your concern.
You never know, like it go to decision, it's like,
and they rob.
You don't know, yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, but I got Devin Haney though.
All right, Kentavias Slay 2-0. All those small weight classes better watch out.
Yeah.
Hardest hidden thing coming out of Texas.
Facts.
For the video, feel free to hit the like, subscribe, and share. As always, if you want to support us to the next level, head over to the patreon.com/ThaBoxingVoice. We have tons of exclusive from Border Wars and title, betting shows, the list goes on and on and on. But in addition to that, if you guys have questions for fighters, trainers, and promoters, this is where you can submit them. We will run out, get these questions answered, and put it back on the show just for you guys. Appreciate it. Peace.